Content warning. The Adventures in HellwQrld podcast talks in depth about QAnon, which means we have to talk about all kinds of child abuse and violence against people. Listener discretion advised.
Hello, everybody. I am Mike Rains, a.k.a. Poker and Politics, and welcome to another episode of Adventures in HellwQrld. This week, I am joined, as always, by Arizona Right Wing Watch, a.k.a. Haley.
Hello.
She's going to work on the intro. We're going to work.
Yo. What up? Hi, everybody. Bang, bang. Pew, pew. All right.
Bang, bang, pew, pew. I think that I think you got something there.
Was that something?
Yeah.
Was that anything?
It's possibly, yes. And I'm also joined by the mysterious L.
Hello, my beautiful babies, and hello, Mike, and hello, Haley. Welcome back. And also, everybody shut up. I have to say something. Because somehow during the intro, I was reminded of a thing I need to talk about immediately.
All right.
I was on TikTok, as I want to do on my commute.
Yep.
And I got like one of those targeted video ads. Now, I don't know what it was about my algorithm that decided that I needed to see this and that it might be a thing I'm interested in. But it truly does not say anything great about my character. So strap in. Because what it was advertising me was a website that makes and sells a little metal card called the In-Pass.
Oh, dear God.
What the hell is that?
It's a pass to say... If you read it if you go to their website, in the fine print, there's a little cheeky. Yeah, this pass gives you the permission to say Nigeria whenever you want.
Oh.
And I'm just like, okay, yeah, I guess you would have to say something like that. But let's peel back that one little layer of subterfuge and just be like, oh my God, you're supposed to be a card that I'm supposed to, like a gag gift I'm supposed to give somebody to just be like, here you go. Here's your In-Pass. I got it as a gag gift. It gives you free license.
I was confused for a minute, and now I am. Where did you see that ad? TikTok, not Twitter? X?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I mean, I got rid of Twitter / I stopped using it because again, I can't get out of my pass. I don't have my password, so I can't delete it.
Bitchin'.
although coincidentally, I'm pretty sure I also tied it to a one of those, like, what are they called? Like the key, like the protection things, you know what I mean? The authenticator.
Yeah.
Which I didn't migrate over properly on my new phone. So now that I've deleted the app on my phone, I don't think I can ever get back into my account. So it's truly just the zombie account. Like, I just have no recourse. It's just up there forever.
So that was your TikTok ad? What are you looking on TikTok?
I don't know. I mean, it's funny too because, this week, like, honestly, like, I could kind of see how the algo would have got there this week, because this week, like millions of other people, I was celebrating the tremendous victory in the Battle of Alabama. I mean, the Battle of Alabama was sick. It was great. I loved every moment of it except for that last shot, which I think everyone kind of universally sort of agrees was the uncalled for punctuation mark of what was otherwise a great ordeal.
What, the chair?
The chair to the lady
that was sick.
The chair to the lady that was just sitting on that, like the chair to the guys that were brawling, that was absolutely sick. But like the just before being arrested chair shot to that one dumpy lady who was just sitting on the dock.
Maybe she was shouting N really loud. You couldn't hear it, you know? And he's like, you know what? Shut up! Boom!
I mean, to be fair, there's certainly a level of justification that could exist there that I'm just not privy to. But
that was so funny.
I watched a lot of people who have more skin in the game, so to speak, break it down on TikTok. And thankfully, they all sort of agree. They gloss over it really fast, but everyone's just sort of like, yeah, and then the chair shot, which, you know, whatever. That's probably a little bit outside. That's a yellow card at least, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, we'll say yellow card. You never know. They could be a green.
but yeah,
it was hilarious though. That was just a good. The guy that jumped out of the boat, jumped out of the boat and swam like Aquaman, and just got up there and started fighting.
The whole thing was just such an
recruit
incredible...
that guy for something. I don't know, a movie as Aquaman.
Yeah, and then the security guard who literally just threw his hat in the air like a signal flare.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was great.
Great moment. A great moment in history, and it's always nice when a conflict happens and the right side wins. And I feel like we could all look at the footage there, extrapolate the information we need from just general society, and be like, oh yeah, totally, the right side won there. Whatever those white people were doing, it was out of pocket. They definitely shouldn't have hit that guy for no reason. Like, I'm sure they said a lot of stuff.
Move your boat.
Yeah, just move your fucking boat, you dumb idiots. Just move your stupid boat. Nobody is more still a target for just like guilt-free watching them get their asses paddled than like a white boy wearing a snap cap. You know what I mean? Dude, if you got like, or a trucker hat or something, if you're wearing like a backwards baseball cap and you're a Caucasian male with shirt off, then I am ready to see whatever you're about to get.
Good
Love
TikTok.
But anyway, so I can see a racist TikTok algorithm just equating my love of watching black folks break down this hilarious video of black folks destroying white folks over and over again, which I did a bunch over the past couple of days, and just be like, oh, let's offer this wacky gag gift. But no, that they happened in the opposite order than that. So I don't know what I was looking for. I mean, all of my guesses would be super racist. So I'm not sure if it's like inside of the pocket for me to even speculate.
You gotta add more Pinky doll into your algo, you know, the NPC girlies. Ice cream so good.
I mean, for the record, I spend a lot of time on my TikTok watching dance videos and hip hop art, like looking for underground hip hop music. So, I mean, like I
this
think
guy gets the N pass.
Yeah.
I've decided as the TikTok algorithm.
Yeah, I'm gonna. You know what? I'm good. I'm good on that. I'm good on that.
Thank you, TikTok.
I'm good on that as a stocking stuffer. I'm good on that for myself. I don't need that. I don't want that.
Nope. Hard pass on all of it. Thank you. Yeah.
I will counter with my hard pass. It looks like an Uno reverse card, but it just says hard pass on it.
Yeah.
Dude, we can make those on Etsy and clean up. Here's your hard pass.
Yes.
Anyway. If you're listening to this, shut up. You don't get to do that. That's our idea. That's for merch in the future.
Yes. Oh God. My grand total of social media is like I'm basically on Facebook a little to talk in the group chat with Elle and other friends of ours from the meat world, the touching grass world, and I was scrolling down Facebook through all the horrifying ads and nonsense that I deal with, and I had a photo from one of my in-shape lady friends, and she was like wall climbing. She was like doing this like very difficult wall. And as she was like reaching from like one handhold to another, it was like she had to like do a very far extent. So her back muscles were very defined as she did that. And I was just thinking to myself, God, I know so many sickos and absolutely brain poisoned lunatics that would just look at a still shot of that and be like, dude, that's dude.
That's back phrenology dude. Right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh God, the back phrenology. You have no idea. And she's got a short haircut right now. So, oh God, just
got hair phrenology too.
Yes. Just it's all about all of these things. I can't even say that guy's name, Hamadaya or whoever it is. The new Nazi that shockingly got revealed as being a Nazi.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Even it's just all of that shit. It's just people are so
new Nazi just dropped.
Yep.
Yes, exactly.
Boom. Yo, the new Nazi just dropped. His name is unpronounceable to my.
It's just some weird ass name as usual.
Someone posted a thing about that guy where they were like, "We everyone loves the new internet sensation Milkshake Nazi," and I regret to inform you that Milkshake Nazi is a Nazi. Which is so shocking. What are the odds? It's just like I just can't even have like a friend being like, just crush this wall today, boom, feeling great. And I'm just like, man, if like that post ever got out anywhere outside of like the private Facebook area I am in, like there would be a large people were like, wow, girl, you fucking killed that wall, you're the best. And then the weirdos would show up and be like, that's a dude guy. The transvestigators would get in there quick.
Mike, how dare you sell the whole segment of just regular style pervert short? They would also show up.
That's true.
They would look
That's
at it.
very true.
They would just
That's
be like,
so true.
They'd just be like, dude, a chick, I don't care. I want to smash that wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes, I completely forgot. I'm so toxic. I can't even get to just the regular misogyny and sexual objectification of a woman. I have to go straight to the transvestite.
Yeah, this is how I know your brain has been poisoned by the circles you traffic in. You have forgotten that there's just like you've just because you frequently dig beneath the layer of misogyny and traffic in the underrealm. Don't forget, there's a huge blanket of smog that protects that realm from the rest of society, and it's just misogyny.
Yeah.
Like that scene in The Fifth Element where Bruce Willis has to dive that cab down to the old ruins of the previous city.
Yeah.
That's where you're at. But the rest of us don't go down there.
Yeah. Yeah. God.
Yikes.
Yeah.
People are the worst.
Yeah.
You know what's not the worst, though? The sexual openness of Baldur's Gate 3, while we're still there talking about random stuff segment before we get to the boosh.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3, you know what? Speaking of brain poisoning, I've never played one of these games before. A friend got it for me as a gift just because literally everybody else in our group chat was talking about it and he didn't want me to feel left out. So shout out to that friend. I know you listen. Big ups. Now I see the light. I mean, I don't want to use his name, but, you know.
Shout out Anon.
Yeah, shout out anonymous friend. Now I can try to have sex with a bear. Well, or like an elf or whatever that's pretending to be a bear by using magic to transform into an actual bear.
Yeah, our audience members who don't want to be named, I guess we should call them like Hellenons or something. That'd be like that's our secret fan base.
We'll workshop it. I'm too busy thinking about the assortment of dicks and vulvas you can choose at the game Baldur's Gate 3.
Someone had a TikTok where they got some sort of underwear for their character, and then they were like, "What is my character wearing now?" And then they clicked a bunch of buttons and made their character naked and had to blur it out. And he was like, "Oh my dear lady, please put something on." And he had to click on put on clothing for her.
Yeah, I mean, you could there's like you could turn off all of that stuff if you want to. There's a button that turns off all the sensitive bits, and another button to turn off all the sexy time. If you don't want any of that in your story, you'll just gloss right over it.
So Mike Pence, come on.
I mean, I'm just saying it's there if you don't want to. If you don't want to look at a little gnome ding dong bouncing around. There's no sliders or anything for it though. So you have like pre-established links and girths, as far as I can tell. For now, I'm sure there's going to be a robust modding community for this game, but but you know, I was playing a gnome, so I went for the most sufficiently gnomey looking one. You know, so sort of short with a lot of pubic hair. That's how I never really put much thought into it until I was making my character. I was, you know what, that seems like the most gnomey dick.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm sure that these power fantasy nerds, as soon as they get a chance to, they're gonna be like, yeah, my character's name is King Ding Dongicus, third of his name, and he's just packing mad heat. Oh, jeez. Anyway, okay. That's enough vamping for the time being. Let's get into the mighty boosh.
It's time for a light sampling of insanity. Get ready for the amuse-bouche.
All right, I guess it's time for us to once again stir our bald friend Joe Rogan from his eternal slumber deep beneath the Earth's crust. Like some sort of elder creature, we will summon him. And this week we will be talking about how he is apparently a lake truther, according to Mike Rains. Now, that can mean any number of things. So, Mike, what the fuck are you talking about, bro?
Well, we're talking about Haley's favorite politician from her beloved state of Arizona, that being Kari Lake, gubernatorial election loser Kari Lake.
Oh, this isn't about Ricky
The
Lake?
jacket says governor. She's...
I can't wait till she has her new vice president jacket for when she loses as vice president.
I hear she's going to announce for Senate soon. That's what the local media is speculating.
They say dress for the job you want, you know?
Yes.
True.
Yes.
True. Not the one you have.
Yep. It's gonna be awesome when she runs for both senator and vice president simultaneously, and then loses both races.
She just needs
it's
attention.
problematic for me because I've always wanted to be Barack Obama, but I can't. You know, that's that's a no-go right there.
Yeah.
He's just so cool.
Yes. So our boy Joe Rogan had a guest on who was obviously some sort of right-wing ding-a-ling that I didn't even bother looking into. But in their clip, Joe's just sort of like, election fraud, probably real. I mean, the government says there's no election fraud, but that's not true. I mean, there's got to be a skosh. And then, as an example of actual election fraud, he brought up the fact that Kari Lake probably got screwed out of her election, probably was the rightful winner, but hey, these things happen. and that quote unquote machines broke down and this, that, the other thing. And then Rogan ended his little stirring dissertation by stating that there is obviously a concerted effort to make sure that certain people get elected, which he tried to make sound nefarious and not the entire purpose of political parties. That's kind of why you run a political party, to get a person elected.
No, here's a question for you. Do we think this is an actual thing that Joe Rogan believes, or is this just Joe Rogan being within 30 feet of somebody who believes this?
Both. He's just like, that sounds right, sure. I don't know. I don't have my brain
vibe,
is empty.
Right? Yeah, he's like a ditto. He's like a mirror human. He just like sits down across from somebody, and they're just like, I'm going to tell you my opinion, and I'm going to do some stuff. And then by the end of it, he's just like, well, I believe in that stuff. Oh, my zoinks and willikers.
He's like, sounds right. I believe it.
Totally down. Obviously, lizard people control the subways. Thank you. And then, like after that person's like out of his radius, he just goes back to being his inert self. And
he's
like, put me back in the sensory deprivation chamber.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is that I can't give him the benefit of the doubt anymore, because he always manages to keep himself within 30 feet of right-wing nuts at this point. Like, he's just decided to use that whole ditto persona to try to insulate himself from the harsher criticisms that would come from his belief system. So he's just sort of like, people think I absorb the badness from the people I'm around. So what if I'm just constantly around bad people? So I have this like defense mechanism against being labeled as being actually believing this nonsense.
Well, I mean, that would be interesting enough to be true, except knowing what we know about Joe Rogan, that he's very successful, that he's incredibly wealthy, that he's friends with incredibly influential people, and that apparently he's savvy enough to know his like place in the world. Wouldn't that make Joe Rogan like a genius? Do we love Joe Rogan? I mean, okay, love's a strong word. How about aspire to be? Like, is Joe Rogan the greatest sellout in the history of the world?
Yes.
I think he's pretty right-leaning. I think it's fair to say his brain, his monkey brain, is pretty just generally right-leaning.
But did he start off like that? Like, didn't he was like when he got his foot in the industry, I never really coded him as
Factor.
Big, like, especially...
You remember Fear Factor?
Well, I'm going before
Donkey
Fear
Dick
Factor,
and shit.
when he was just like a dumb stand-up comedian and comedic actor. I never really got like sort of ultra right-wing leaning like vibe out of him.
We'll watch the comedy first. We'll watch the comedy he did, the stand-up, for a bonus content, and we'll review it.
I mean, that would be great to do, because I'm not sure. If you go into his back catalog, he can have like Dave Chappelle level transphobic shit in there that I'm just like not remembering. And
it's totally
like,
racist.
Yeah, dude, he was always there the whole time.
It's like, how did we not realize?
he originated Ahmed the Dead Puppet or whatever. That's like. That was actually him. He started that.
He actually gave John Dunham the fucking racist Muslim puppet.
Yeah.
Okay, those are good years.
Maybe I guess I was just blinded by a news radio, and I can't really think anything else about the guy.
I hate most stand-up, so this will be torture for me, Mike. We should do this.
I mean, because before all of the Joe Rogan Experience shit, way back in the day, I remember him being like this folk hero, kind of, because he was the one who charged up on stage and told Carlos Mencia to go fuck himself for stealing all those jokes.
Oh yeah, Carlos Mencia. Like, that was like Joe Rogan's like moment of becoming the ultimate hero, when he confronted that guy for being a joke thief, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, Rogan's standing up for the little guy. Way to go!" But I mean, now like Alex Jones is doing like bits on his show where he's basically like cutting like wrestling promos where he's like, "And now we've got Joe Rogan. Rogan's finally been awakened. We've unleashed him. He's now Alex Jones." It's like Alex, shut the fuck up. Calm down, buddy.
Is Alex Jones like willingly offering up his hollowed out shell for like Joe Rogan to hermit crab into, now that Alex Jones is going to get litigated into nothingness?
Pretty much. I mean, that's the way. Like,
he's trying to like pass it. He's trying to pass the torch to Joe Rogan, but the problem is that he can't reach Joe Rogan because Joe Rogan is already so much more successful than him. He's like, "What? I can't hear you from down there, Mr. Jones. What are you saying? Oh, I get the torch. Great." Like 200 million listeners will be excited to know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Also, he just platforms like awful people, so it's like.
Oh yeah, that's the main thing. I mean,
look, we all know that Joe Rogan is terrible, but I'm just saying, like, I don't want to have to acknowledge that maybe he's like a savvy kind of terrible that you wouldn't expect looking at him, because he looks he looks like a high school wrestling coach, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, there are people who are thinking that the stuff he's doing right now is a kind of way of going after Tucker Carlson's market share, because Tuck, the views on Tuck's Twitter show, not great. He has been cratering most aggressively since basically he had a big first show, boom, huge ratings, everything going great, and then dip, Trump indictment, huge ratings, and then just off a cliff. Like right after the first Trump indictment and Tucker pissing and moaning about it, his show just died a death on Twitter. He's getting like no views now. So
I mean, but that's so surprising because the platform is in such like competent hands. Such competent hands that are about to be thrown at Mark Zuckerberg, apparently.
Yes.
Like, I can't get a 2-minute video to like function, you know, like load. It just like gives me the scrolly bar of death.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't watching no 2-hour video on there.
Oh God, no.
Not anymore.
No.
Yeah, but long gone are the times of watching the Super Mario Brothers movie while it's still in theaters on Twitter. X doesn't play that shit.
Don't load.
X doesn't work that well. You know, we got to run that copyright problem by just making a platform that couldn't possibly do it.
Yeah. Make sure to download the
videos. Too shitty for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this time, like we're back to the rumblings that Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg are going to like literally fist fight each other.
Dumb.
Which, I mean, I'll play ball with. Sure. I mean, it seems like blue and on pie in the sky nonsense, but yeah, all right. Let's watch these two billionaire doofuses fight each other in a ring.
Yeah,
for sport.
Yeah. So something happened where Elon got the itch to talk shit about Zuck again, and then they talked about having the fight and live streaming it on X and donating all the money to like charities or whatever. And then
the site don't work.
Zuckerberg came at him with a sick burn about like, I'm not sure if we should be using your platform as a way to make money. And it was like, oh, Zuck got him. And then after this discussion about the fight being back on after Elon begged out originally because his mommy wouldn't let him fight. Then after they had this little verbal sparring match, and again, Zuckerberg's just like ready to go. Zuckerberg's like, I will fly a cage to wherever you need to fight me, and we will do this shit.
I will kill you.
I don't want to beat the shit out of you. You have no idea, you doughy moron. And Elon just like...
He knows that's good PR. He knows if he kills him, he knows if he just one punches him and knocks him out cold, he would... people would forget about the a lot of people would forget about the genocide that he helped to
to genocide, schmeticide. He punched out Elon.
Yeah, he's like, he killed Elon. Remember that?
Yes. But so after all of this yelling, Elon then replied that he has to get an MRI for back and neck problems.
Oh my God, this guy.
And that after the results of the MRI, he will let Zuckerberg know if and when they can fight. Which is to say that Elon, when we next see Elon, he'll be like wearing like an old timey
a neck brace.
He's going to have his ambulance chaser lawyer in front of him talking about how he got sideswiped by an 18-wheeler and they're going to sue them for like $5 million and all that good stuff. He's going to have his Better Call Saul attorney at his side. I just love that Elon the fact that he talks shit like this and then immediately backs down right afterwards. It's like, it's so childish. He just can't respond to Zuckerberg and be like, bro, we're not fighting with fists. We're fighting with platforms, and Threads is dog shit, and X is the future. He could just do that. He could just do that and like make himself look like the winner of the argument. But no, he's like, oh yeah, bro, I'm totally down to fight, bro. We're going to fight. And then
he's like, Mommy won't let me and my back hurts.
Yes. Exactly. It's like, you have any idea how bad that makes you look that you claim you want to throw down and then immediately afterwards you beg out so quickly it's not even funny. It's like, oh my God.
Speaking of things that are a bad look, in Elon Musk related news, there's this Lizzo controversy, which I don't need to touch on. People are mad at Lizzo. But coming to Lizzo's defense is Grimes, who's just like, hey, I stand with Lizzo because she's nice, and cancel culture, etc. You know, I get it. I have been canceled myself. And it's just like, well, people don't like you because you let a horrible person hit it raw multiple times. Enough to produce 2 children with him.
Also, so she was defending. He's like, he's not transphobic. He just doesn't like cancel culture. That was in, I think, that same interview.
Yeah, but she loves cancel culture because it helps make her feel like it absolves her of all of her shitty life choices and the fact that she's not a great person. So I'm here to use my tiny platform to remind you, the listener, that Grimes sucks. And yeah, she's made some catchy music. And if you like that music, that's still cool. But don't line Grimes' pockets. Do not support Grimes' message. She fucking sucks. Shitty people can make good music. I used to love CeeLo Green. Love CeeLo Green. But, you know, we don't listen to CeeLo Green no more.
No, because one day CeeLo Green was like, if they're unconscious, consent doesn't matter, right? Right. And then everyone in the room started backing away slowly from him. And he was like, what are you talking about?
Like his agent and all of his fan base.
Grimes is going to do this debate, quote unquote debate, hosted by Barry Weiss in LA. And it's like with the Red Scare podcast girls and ladies. And
that's great. I can't wait for her
to go to that. I would love to go to that, but I gotta hear
her quirky white girl opinions on stuff.
Yeah, where she's like, the patriarchy was good actually because it like made roads. You remember that quote where she was in those big goofy ass glasses looking like Kristen Cinema ass? Anyways, I'm not a
and look, you know, like, I don't know.
Female fascists are so weird.
Even if you were into it, it would seem like a trap to me. Like, you know, you get like, you just get this like vaguely, this like, you know, I wouldn't even say vaguely, but just like traditionally attractive, like woman who's just like, actually, I love the patriarchy and I can't wait to have sex with people like Elon Musk. And it's just like, I don't know what you're trying to trick me into, but you seem like a trick or just the worst person ever. So take your pick, worst or trick. And I don't mean like a whore, I guess. I should clarify because we don't make them kind of jokes anymore.
No. You're doing something to manipulate me, and I don't understand what. I don't get it. Oh yeah, I remember they had
manipulating you into like techno fascism, Elon fascism. That's
like
the manipulation.
Stepford Wives shit, right? It's just like you're someone just like looking down the barrel and just feeding like an algorithm, like looking down the barrel and just feeding you what they think you'd want to hear. Like, oh no, I think it's great that the royal you, meaning men, the great people, I have your boots on my neck. That's awesome. I can't get enough of that. Please, more boot.
Yeah.
I'm just like, no. I'm one of the sensible ones who's guilty about the boot. I would like to do less boot, please.
Yeah. Yeah, it is called The Free Press and Fire present A Clash of the Female Titans. Has the sexual revolution failed?
Oh, get me to that, somebody, please.
And wow. It is Grimes. It is Grimes and Sarah Hayter versus Anna Kvetchkin and Louise Perry. It was special guests to be announced, and Barry Weiss is going to do is the moderator.
I bet Elon shows up.
And
it's in LA.
Yep. And for $65, you get quote unquote nothing but a good time. The $65,
you get a tote. You get a tote bag. You know how much I want the female fascist tote bag?
No, the tote bag is for $165.
Those fucks, dude, these grifters, man, dude. Can somebody, listeners with money? I would like to go to this.
You're just jelly. Also, how are you going to go to this without giving them 125 of your precious dollars? I just appealed to the audience to stop giving Grimes money, and here you are just being like, I would love to give Grimes money. I can't wait to give Grimes my money.
Jesus, this is an event.
Look, just hopefully somehow surreptitiously one of those bags can make it into your hands, perhaps without anybody exchanging hands. You know,
only the most normal people in the audience, I'm sure.
Oh God, that audience is going to be absolutely pilled. They're going to be so nuts. like I don't even know who's going to be on the side of like the women's revolution being a good thing, or are they just going to both sides are going to argue against it?
It's all against it. It's all that it was bad and a failure, and that we must submit to our Elon overlords.
It has to be like a beta male shooting gallery, right?
Oh God.
Just like so many guys who think they've got that riz, but clearly don't, because if they did, they would have to be like cruising for ladies at the
So many startups.
please hold us down rally.
Yes.
They're like, have you heard of Doge? You know?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm heavily invested in what I'm calling the third wave of NFT collecting, so I might not be a multimillionaire yet, but you know, it's coming down the pipeline, so to speak. So you want to get out of here? Okay, great. Excellent.
Yeah.
Nice. Yes, charisma 12 guy. I'd love to get out of here.
Wow, did he use potions to buff himself to 12? Holy shit.
No, I feel like your beta guy is like, you know, you don't have the risk to be an alpha, but you've elevated yourself from the plebs. Because otherwise, how would you feel confident enough to rate women on a number scale on that crazy Reddit page?
Yeah, and then crush people when they rate a woman at 7.5.
Yeah.
They're
Bam.
like, 7.5 banned, you fucking simp. How dare you?
Yeah.
This woman,
Can you believe this fucking guy dared to rate this chick a 7.5? Hell no. And then smash cut to later that night, that guy is getting like shot down by like the least attractive woman at an Applebee's bar. And it's just like, okay, cool, good stuff.
Please don't dox me.
Anyway. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, Elon versus Zuck. God, I hope it happens. No matter who wins, we win. But let's move on to our last Boosh item for the week. Apparently, the Sound of Freedom, the Saudi freedom. Let me try that again.
It was the Sound of Freedom.
Okay, and action. Apparently, the Sound of Freedom has kicked up some sort of predictable dust. The way that a movie regarding some child trafficking and child endangerment might. And of course, question mark, our friend Jay Stu is involved somehow. I'm as confused as you are. Let's turn it over to Mike. Mike, what the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, so Chase Stu started screaming and yelling about how one of the backers of the Sound of Freedom had been indicted for child kidnapping or trafficking, and that obviously the movie was now some sort of cover for the nefarious actual bad deeds that these people were doing themselves. And so this got a lot of people all hot and bothered. I actually had some people send me links to the stories about this and being like, hey, Mike, this is something probably you need to talk about on the podcast. And then the news actually came out about what happened. And what happened was that Fabian Marta, he was one of the 6,600 angel investors for the movie Sound of Freedom, which is basically this like Angel Studios was like, hey, if you want to throw like a pile of money at this movie as an investor, we'll give you a credit. And I think they may have also made it like a thing where you can get a small share in the profits of the movie if it does well. So this guy probably made some bag out of this whole thing. But at the end of the movie, they literally have in the credits, they just have, thank you for all the people who threw money at us. And this guy's name is part of that almost 7,000 people in the credits. And this led the people...
Like a Kickstarter.
Yeah, exactly. Like a Kickstarter for a movie, basically. And this led the people that were like, yo, Jay Stu, what the fuck are you doing? This guy was just literally one of thousands of people who threw money at this film. And then he was like, oh, this is how they're trying to defend it and diffuse it and blah, blah, blah. And then people started digging into what actually happened with this guy. And this kidnapping charge is linked to a custody dispute, which is almost always what happens in an event like this. Because kidnapping a stranger's child is something that is like 1% of all like kidnappings involve a stranger abducting a child. Like 99% of this shit is someone who knows the kid did something wrong with the kid, and then usually they're able to resolve it. There's a reason why in the legal system we have a lesser charge than kidnapping called custodial interference. That like a kidnapping charge can get pled down to custodial interference because they're like, look, you didn't do that, you did this, now just fucking like let's wrap this shit up. Let's like take a plea deal and get this over with and get the kid back where they need to be.
Yeah, and then the flag comes on the field, and then like out of nowhere, the ref comes into your life, and it's just like flag on the play, custodial interference.
Yes, exactly. They do the pushing motion, boom, and the crowd's like, "Hey, Bear, you didn't even interrupt the route. What the fuck, Ralph? This bullshit flag. You just ruined the Super Bowl." It's like, I'm still mad about that.
It's
But-
just like one of your neighbors.
Yeah.
Like the call from quote unquote the stands.
Yes.
What a thankless job that would be. Like
Yeah.
a genie magic ref.
Yes. So no trafficking, no actual quote unquote like taking of a kid. This incident is just a family dispute, as they almost always are. The guy who is involved was not some TikTok videos claim this guy was a producer of the film, which he wasn't. He was just one of these people that Angel Studios managed to solicit for money, and he gave them money. So, this is a massively overblown thing. Please do not blue in on it. Please do not start screaming and yelling about how.
But my Substack.
Yeah, Mike, I have it on good authority via J Stu's Substack that this guy is in fact
The mastermind of it all.
He's the reincarnated cybernetic second form of Hitler,
and connected to Mike Flynn somehow. He did it.
Oh God, he's Adolf Flynn. He's Flynn's little-known German brother, who, yes, just absolutely both behind QAnon and the Third Reich. Somehow both.
And he's a monster who specializes
in
child human centipedes, which is just an incredibly niche market.
Oh yeah,
it's like, who's this for? He's like, for me, of course.
Oh God.
If you do what you love, etc.
Yes.
Okay. So J Stu continues to be a big piece of shit. Who would have guessed? If only that guy was ever right about anything, then maybe anyone should listen to him. But we'll be happy to report when it happens. It'll be a breaking headline news. J Stu right about something for once.
Yeah, we won't even have our small talk segment at the start of the pod. It'll just be 10 minutes of holy shit, J Stu got something right. Can you believe it?
I hope he listens to this and gets pissed off because I'll never hear about it because I don't use X anymore. And I certainly don't have a fucking Substack or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So come at me, bro. I'm immune to your bullshit.
Yes.
You're never going to convince me who Q was. It was Bill Clinton all along. Why? Okay. Let's move on to Q's in the news.
From the digital headlines to the digital front lines, it's Q's in the news.
Okay, Q's not really in the news. Q's never really in the news anymore because you know who's always in the news? Donald Trump. All news is about Donald Trump, and therefore all Q-related opinions are about the news related to Donald Trump. You dig? That's just sort of the world we live in until Donald Trump dies or becomes Emperor of America and bans free speech again. So, take your pick. Anyway, more Trump news. Mike Raids, what are we talking about this week? What's going on with
Anything
DT?
happen? What's going on?
Okay, so Trump got on Truth Social and decided to throw just an absolute shit fit after his third indictment, which is only when we talk to you next week, we will probably be talking about his fourth indictment then, because that'll be magical.
Yeah, I keep hearing some shit.
Oh yeah.
Is Georgia apparently coming down the pipeline?
Yeah, allegedly Georgia is due. Georgia could be as early as next Tuesday or this upcoming Tuesday.
Did their sheriff come out was just like, "Oh, we're getting a fucking mugshot." They were like, "Oh, we're getting that mugshot, baby." You better believe it.
Yeah. Georgia has. Yeah, the guy came out and was like, "Trump gets no preferential treatment from us. We will mugshot his ass when he is indicted in Georgia." So yes, the long-awaited Trump mugshot for one of his indictments will happen if and when he gets indicted in Georgia.
The shirts, I can't wait.
Oh,
dude, can you imagine just like they're fucking like, editors at newspapers the world over just getting mad turgid thinking about that day GT mugshot. Like, yeah, we're groping it. We can't wait.
Oh god, yeah. Oh, my favorite part about the Trump mugshot is he's obviously going to be wearing his lifts to try to get to like 6'3" or 6'4" on the mugshot. He's going to be, oh god, he's going to be prancing into that fucking police station in heels. Basically, he's going to make DeSantis's heels look sad by comparison.
This person behind the camera just like, all right, there, Mr. Cruz, you can go ahead and take them lifts off so we can get a real picture of you here.
But I'm the former president. Yeah. President Schmesident. Take the shoes off.
How many inches you suppose that rogue there is elevating that? How about you take that? Let's see you with your real hair on there, sir. You
Yeah, God, he's so great. But so the first thing Trump tweeted, or truths, I should say, because we don't want to get this wrong on the platforms he's using.
I thought it was an X now. Oh no, that's the other place. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's also stupid.
I was talking to someone about how I was dead naming X by calling it Twitter still, and then my friend called me a Twitter turf because of that. And I posted that story on Twitter, and then someone replied to me and called me a CERT, which is an ex-exclusionary radical tweeter, which I thought was the greatest possible term to use for this. So I am absolutely a CERT.
That's funny, but I'm afraid to engage with it because I feel like it's one of those things that at some point, if people start doing it, like, you know, the trans community will be like, stop taking power away from the actual problem, you dicks.
Hey, as soon as the trans community throws the flag on that play, I'm out. I'm done. The joke goes from F to NF real quick, and then it's over.
I'm so gun shy these days. I'm just like, I think part of it is because, like, you know, I am getting like to I am getting to the age where I'm really not to be trusted by teens. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really starting to become like an adult, and I don't want to become one of those, like, you know, people yelling at clouds. So I'm really inclined to just sort of be like, we're gonna play it extra safe.
Yeah.
A lot of the jokes I make on the show, I'm just like, oh boy. Like, even some of the ones that are like kind of mundane, like coming out of me, I'm just like, oh no, like the line. Am I still on it? Am I crossing the line? Are people going to think I'm a monster? And then I remember
there's like no Zoomers that listen to us.
If I have to become a monster, it is going to be for cash. That is how that works out. Until then, I'm going to continue to try to be a good person. But once that bag comes along.
Oh yeah, if you can hit that Rogan sellout button, boom, monster.
Oh, dude, for the amount of money
just
he's
pearly
making in it,
things.
I'll say whoever you want as the president. I don't give a fuck. Give me a list of words, I'll say them.
Oh man! So the first thing he said was the whole, "If you're coming after me, I'm coming after you," and he then proceeded to take shots at Mike Pence, who has basically come out as being pretty much the star witness for the prosecution against Trump in the January 6th case, which is the case he's in the most danger in because it's in DC. The judge apparently is going to not take his shit and is not Judge Cannon in Florida. And Trump has also said this judge is biased against him and he wants her recused. He talks endless shit about Jack Smith. And my favorite thing that he has done in this whole just absolutely delusional series of nut jobbery is he posted an attack ad against the prosecutors who are coming after him on Truth Social. This attack ad literally ends with him saying, "I'm Donald J. Trump and I approve this message." The video starts with a little thing about Biden. He's like, when you're as corrupt and as useless as Joe Biden, how do you keep power? And then he throws it to all the DAs who are coming after him, Alvin Bragg, Fannie, I can't remember, Fannie Willis. I'm so sorry, I got her last name wrong probably. But Georgia DA, Jack Smith, he's just going after everybody, and the attack on it is like, Jack Smith had a conviction of a Republican governor overturned. Letitia James in New York, she's like, she ran on a campaign of getting Trump. Alvin Bragg has presided over rampant rise in crime in New York, but won't actually prosecute anybody. And it's just, I'm just sitting there like, you got him, Trump. I'm not going to vote for any of those 4 people for president. You win. Absolutely. When I get my ballot in November 2024 for president, I will not be checking off the box that says Jack Smith. That I will not do because fuck that guy.
Also, and it's a point we have to belabor on the show because it's just it's totally the Q playbook for sure, and general conservative playbook in general. But it's just like, when you're as useless as Joe Biden, you have to successfully rig the presidential election, rain indictment after indictment down upon your opponent, easily beat him in every way. And it's just like, all right, guys, steel your nerves. At any moment, our hero will get to the point where he is useless. Because right now, I know it sounds bad. Man, I know it sounds like Joe Biden is pretty useful right now. But any moment, Donald Trump will elaborate on his claims that he's useless. All right, yeah. President Trump, continue. Get to the point where Joe Biden has ever failed as it relates to you. Oh, it's never happened? Well, that's a huge blow to the old ego there.
Oh, Joe Biden tripped over a sandbag once. That's how he's useless. You really want to argue physical dexterity? That's your play, Mr. President Trump?
Well, his son is corrupt, and that's something that I don't have go for. Oh wait, nope. I'm getting word that this interview's over.
Yes.
Fucking clown shit, dude.
Gets out of his chair, slowly shambles towards the door, has somebody else open it for him so he can get out.
I mean, he's saving all of his peak athleticism for the track. He doesn't want to. He wants to leave it all out of the field, so
yeah,
he can't waste it on like going up or down inclines or whatever.
Yeah. And so recently he called Chris Christie a fat pig, or said he shouldn't call Chris Christie a fat pig. Christie has responded to him by saying, "Why don't you get on the debate stage and say that to my face?" Because
he'll say it to his face. It'll be funny too.
Well, I don't know if Trump shows up for the debate. I mean,
no, he won't, but he would say it if he got to say it to his face. Like, you're a fat pig.
I'm not saying Chris Christie should lose weight, but I am saying that he should. You should lose weight. And Chris Christie would be like, "You should lose weight." He's just like, "No, I look perfect. Look at me."
Going after your king like that, Mike.
And then when I know it's so mean. How dare he attack Chris Christie, the greatest politician who's ever lived? But it was just so great. Like, he calls Chris Christie a fat pig, and then Christie like comes back at him with a retort about fatness. And when the camera pins back to Trump, he's got like the VTuber rig where he actually is like CGI'd as Rocky, and he just has the Adonis body. Fox News just hits him with the filter, and then Christie and all the Republicans are like, "What the fuck are you doing, Fox?" They're like, "Sorry, guys, sorry. We tried to say..."
They released a statement where they're just like, "An intern applied an inappropriate filter." And it's like, okay, good stuff. Yeah. The old intern did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We let that unpaid intern go immediately, and their paperwork has been lost. So don't try to look into them. Nope,
you'll never find them. Sorry, they're gone. Trump will never have an Adonis's body again for another debate until the next one. Sorry. Our bad.
I didn't know they had an X-ray camera here.
I mean, this is a man who literally in 2016 bragged about his dick on stage during a debate. So,
despite the fact that like the famous porn star that he slept with paid off was just like, no, it's tiny. It is small. It looks like a mushroom.
Yeah.
I know because I received money to put it inside of me.
Yes. And the other great thing that Trump did was he was giving a speech where he declared that he would use 2,000 mules as evidence to prove the election was stolen from him during his January 6th trial, which please do, Mr. President. Please, for the love of God, bring up 2,000
That
mules.
would rock.
Yes, it'd be the greatest thing ever.
Bring up the Cyber Ninjas audit. Bring up 2,000 mules. Bring up the Kerry Lake case.
Yes.
That would be hilarious. In so many ways.
I would love Trump's attorney to stand up and be like, "Your Honor, the defense calls Dinesh D'Souza," and Dinesh, he already has like flop sweat like pouring off his forehead as he walks up to the stand. He's like nervously side-eyeing the lawyer, like, "Do you think this is a good idea?" And the lawyer's like, "Fucking go with it."
Trump's lawyers saying no other like avenue are going for the very rare mercy rule like litigation where they're just like, all right, we're going to make it look so bad that the judge can't help but throw the case out because we're mad incompetent. Got him.
The foreperson of the jury stands up and like, "We the jury find," and the judge is like, calm down. Mr. Trump was not given effective legal representation, so I'm throwing this case out right now. We're going to retry it after the election. Boom. And the lawyers are like, "Yes, we did. We pulled it off. The incompetent defense play. Success."
It's the producers for a new age.
Yes.
Springtime for Trump.
Yeah, exactly. Jack Posobiec Trump retweeted.
Who?
Posobiec.
Right, yeah, fuck him.
Pizzagate guy.
Oh, yeah, fuck him. But Trump retweeted him saying that Trump should subpoena Ray Epps to testify at the 1/6 trial. So they're just literally throwing shit at a wall. It's just...
Dude,
Yeah,
that would be
what-
so
what-
funny. That
Let's
would
stop
be
here.
so
Subpoena
funny.
Omar Epps. Let's get
Yes.
anyone. Let's Kevin Bacon it. You know.
Yeah, fucking anyone you want. whatever
Please.
yes, whatever shit show you want to make this, please make it.
Just every conspiracy.
Yeah,
I'd like to circle back.
evidence.
I'd like to circle back for a moment to Trump being like, "You come after me, I come after you." You know, I did love the pearl clutching that happened after that from people just being like, "Oh my god, Donald Trump, open threats. Oh my god, I want the open threat." And it's just like, I feel like you have to be threatening to issue a threat. You know what I mean? Like, what's he gonna do? Like, I mean, sure, you're probably not technically supposed to say a thing like that, but that's clearly bluster. He's got no, like, the fuck is he gonna do? It's like, oh yeah, you try to try me, I'm coming after you next. And it's just like, with what and how exactly? Excuse me, sir, would you like to follow up on that? With what and how?
I mean, like, basically his whole existence at this point is, when I'm president again, you're all gonna pay. And it's like, well, you and what army to make you president, buddy? Because, I mean, you, old Sleepy Joe mopped the floor with you pretty effectively last time. Like, so much so that literally the 2024 Trump campaign is just going to be, 2020 was bullshit. Fucking bullshit. I can't believe it. That was such crap. It is going to be, I posted this on Twitter that people don't understand how pilled this campaign is going to be. The other thing that people don't understand is how bad Trump's campaign is going to be for this, because he's going to be in Pennsylvania and he's going to do a rally, and he's going to bring up the fact that he lost Pennsylvania, and he's going to be like, "You people should be ashamed of yourselves for making me lose Pennsylvania, you dummies. You don't let that happen again, you schmucks, because it's bullshit that it happened. So fucking get yourselves right." Because there's nothing voters enjoy more than being told they're idiots and that they fucked over a candidate. Because Trump actually had an interview with some paper in Las Vegas, and the interviewer was like, "You lost Nevada to Hillary in 2016, and you lost Nevada to Biden in 2020. What is your pitch to Republicans that you're going to win this state the last two times?" And Trump was just like, "I didn't lose, and your state is a disgrace for saying I did." And it's just, he's going to do that to every state he lost. He's going to tell every state, "You fucking suck for saying I lost to you. When I didn't, it was rigged." I mean, it's going to be he's going to write attack ads against himself every time he talks. It's going to be the dumbest thing imaginable.
What an absolute unit. I love that we have to talk about him every single week because
For the rest of our lives.
yeah, he's just or his life, you know. We could get lucky.
yeah.
Oh God, the greatest podcast we're going to do is the podcast after he dies.
I can't wait.
I mean,
can't wait.
like, will that cause Q to do a thing? Like, unfortunately, like our Q friends are all just so weak and anemic. They don't do or say anything anymore. They're just sort of like, yeah, Trump is great. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Extra great club you got there, friends. You want to spice it up a little? Like, I don't know.
Oh, they got nothing. And it's just, I mean, it's so funny seeing as how we had the report of when Trump was in the DC court pleading not guilty, that he was like stammering and terrified. Like at one point, like someone asked him what his age was, and he was like, 77. I mean, 77. So it's like, the moment he was actually in a room where real accountability was within 20 feet of him, he started panicking and freaking out. And it's just like, man, what
I mean, I do look forward to that mugshot, you know.
Oh God. Yep.
Let's see how many useless indictments Papa Joe could just raid on him. I want to see, like, can he get to 5 or more indictments, like, in the next, like, we'll say month.
Oh, well, I mean, it seems like the Georgia indictment is going to be really spicy. And I mean, the one problem with these kinds of indictments is that there gets a lot of blue and on hype around them as well. Because I got people talking about,
he's toast. He's toast, dude. They're all toast.
Go to jail forever.
It's not even
Executed.
It's not even, oh God, executed in Gitmo. But it's not even just Trump being toast. I mean, people are like, oh, they're going to get Ted Cruz, they're going to get Lindsey Graham, they're going to get all these people. And it's like, well, because they're like, oh, Georgia's talking about a RICO case. They're going to round up a lot of people. And I'm like, it's probably going to be all the fake Georgia electors. No one's ever heard of those people. Like, I mean, maybe one or two of those fake electors you might know about, but no one knew who those Michigan electors were. So it's just like, don't get your hopes up that any big names are going down with the SS Trump, as it were. Like, Trump's are already like a big enough fish that they don't need to catch more fish around him. So,
Talk about Ohio.
oh yeah, we're El's going to segue to a stat.
Oh,
Don't you
okay.
worry. He's the professional.
It's not in the
seguer.
notes. So I was like,
Yeah,
are we
it's not in the
talking
notes. I
about
don't know
it?
shit about Ohio. Why would I segue us to Ohio? What the fuck is happening in Ohio?
Ohio.
No, it's in the notes as issue 1. That's Ohio.
Is it?
Oh, I don't know what that. I don't know. How was I supposed to know what that meant? I didn't know what that meant. I didn't even copy that over.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
I thought you were saying issue 1 like a comic book issue 1.
No.
We found it. The rare copy.
Yes. No. So so issue 1 in Ohio, which just happened, which was super awesome and incredible, was these dirtbag Republicans. Like, the amount of scum fuckery that went on here is truly breathtaking. So what happened originally, like, talking about how badly they got their asses paddled last night doesn't even begin to describe the story of what they did here. So the first thing they did was they tried to make it so these abortion rights advocates would have to jump through all these hoops to get a ballot initiative on the books for November so that the people of Ohio can vote. Do we amend the Constitution to protect a woman's right to an abortion, or do we not do that? And after the abortion rights activists got enough signatures to force the ballot initiative for November to happen, these Republican dickbags immediately violated their own rule, because in January they passed a law that said we are no longer going to do August bullshit elections. Like, unless it's a very specific reason for why we would do a election in August, we're not going to do them, because these August elections cost a lot of money for the state. It's in the middle of the summer, so they're low turnout, so they're only used for sneak attack bullshit by corrupt dickweeds. So from now on, we're just going to make them. You have to do so much shit to do an August ballot initiative or an August election, because they're bad and they're wrong. And then Republicans were like, you know what? We need to do an August ballot vote. We have to do this. And the only reason why they were doing this August ballot vote was to try to fuck over the November ballot question, because in November, literally just going to be a cut and dry question. Do you want to amend the Ohio state constitution to allow women to have access to abortion? Yes, no. And that vote, if the yes side passed 50.1 to no being 49.9, boom, the Constitution's amendment, women have their right to abortion protected. The ballot question that was put in here in August, snuck in the dead of night for this bullshit, was to change the rules for how you change the Constitution of Ohio, and it would require any ballot referendum altering the Constitution to the yes side would have to get 60% of the vote. So they were trying to bump the vote requirement from 50.1 to 60. So this was entirely done to try to sandbag abortion rights in Ohio. This whole campaign was done like just completely unethically and in the shittiest way possible. I saw Jim Jordan promoting it and all this other stuff. And the way these assholes were trying to frame it was, we're protecting Ohio's values and our Constitution by making sure outside moneyed interests don't pour in money for ballot initiatives to change things, when an out-of-state billionaire financier was the biggest supporter of the Yes on One operation. His name is like Robert Ihall or something like that. His last name is, as usual, impronounceable to me. But yeah, they basically astroturfed this fake anti-abortion ballot referendum into place to try to kneecap the pro-abortion referendum that's coming out in November. And shockingly, the people of Ohio were, when asked, would you like to remove your ability to augment the Constitution the way you want to see fit? The people of Ohio were like, no, fuck you. we like the ability to change the Constitution with a simple majority. That sounds fucking sweet to us.
Yeah, it'd be actually cool not to live in the past forever.
Yes.
You fucks.
Yes, you fucking pieces of shit.
Dude, but the past was when America was great, I hear.
I hear that.
I hear that was when it was exceptionally good.
Oh, it was incredible. It was great. And maybe
Haley, how do you feel about an oven that has a little soaking tub for your feet? So that way you don't have to leave the oven.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Good job, Ohio, though. Shout out, Ohio.
Yes.
Arizona is getting a similar so like literally yesterday they announced that like pro-choice groups announced that they're gonna try to get a ballot initiative, an initiative on the ballot related to abortion here, because after Roe fell, abortion for a brief while was completely banned, which was pretty devastating here. But then, lawsuits back and forth. Currently, you can have an abortion up to 15 weeks, but after that, there's nothing. If you have a medical emergency, if you have any of that, you're fucked. So there's been a lot of people having to leave the state for complications. A lot of those stories you'll read in Washington Post and stuff covering people who have had major complications due after the Roe decision. It usually includes some stuff from Arizona because that's a pretty big one. Anyways, so it's absolutely gonna fucking make the ballot because when Roe actually, fell,
Yep.
there was an attempt to get a initiative on the ballot, to also enshrine the right to abortion in our Constitution, and it wasn't even I don't think backed by any of the major groups here, and it was kind of rushed, and obviously they didn't have that much time, and they almost got the signatures then. So this is all of the actual major, Planned Parenthood of Arizona and a lot of the groups. Katie Hobbs is absolutely going to back this initiative. She was pretty heavily involved with some of the people who were involved in writing this. It needs what was the number? 384,000 signatures to get on the ballot, but they're going to shoot for 500,000 just to be safe. So fucking sign that shit. Get that shit on the fucking ballot. We're the state that has Alliance Defending Freedom headquartered here, which is they are the ones that basically are the reason, Roe v. Wade is not a thing anymore. And also they're attacking birth control, rights to birth control and LGBT rights, and they're a Christian fascist legal giant here. We also have Turning Point USA headquartered here. We have just a lot of awful groups here that are gonna definitely go all hands on deck on this, because I saw them absolutely freaking out that the baby eating demons are getting ready to do this initiative, which would make it so you can get an abortion up to 24 weeks. And if you have a medical emergency, you can get a fucking abortion no matter what,
Yeah.
how, sign it. All right. I'm sorry.
Okay. Back in the corner, Haley. Back in the corner. Calm down. Deep breath. Regulate your heart rate.
She's a mad dog. But you love to see people getting fired up over abortion rights, because I think it's about time we finally started to put those people in their place, trying to get all those abortions. What a bunch of monsters! Is that what we were talking about?
We need more
abortions.
Sacrifices to Baal, know.
Yep. Moloch needs his fill. That's how this works. Yeah.
God, I love abortions. They're just so good. Anyway, okay, so let's move on to our listener mailbag for the week.
Our listeners got questions, we got answers. It's time for Q&A.
It's just the ultimate trust fall, because I don't look at the mailbag ahead of time. So now that I'm not on Twitter/X, I don't have access to seeing if Mike has remembered to ask for questions this week.
Yeah,
so.
I missed the post.
Nope,
I'm barely on there.
Nope, I did ask for questions, and we did get questions. Cleodora Silva Street, the HellwQrld Grand Inquisitor, asks, imagine a Mario Kart knockoff that is made of HellwQrld. What are each of your special abilities as playable drivers, and which HellwQrld villains make it into the game as well?
My ability is that I cannot drive, so I just kind of like bump you all until you die, and I kind of die along with you.
My ability is that I correct people when they imply that Mario Kart racers have abilities when they do not. They have attributes. That's actually. So yeah, in fact, Mario Kart racers do not have abilities so much as they have different attributes. Anyway, would you like to get out of here? It's that guy. Get out of here, that guy. We have enough of you beta males. Yeah,
on his arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if it was Mario Kart rules, I would be like a Bowser type. I would be the biggest, heaviest characters, which have the maximum top speed. Yeah. Played some Mario Kart before.
Yeah.
If it was one of the other kart racers where you did have like a big dumb special ability, I don't know. Am I supposed to play to my persona in HellwQrld as being quote unquote mysterious? Would being invisible help you as a racer? Could I obscure my presence?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was kind of thinking of the I was thinking of like the special abilities being more like a Twisted Metal kind of thing, where like going stealth and Twisted Metal.
How would I kill you guys more better?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, stealth mode would definitely be good in Twisted Metal because you could just pop up behind somebody and start raining down shots. And you'd be like, fuck, L got his super and fucking went into stealth mode. That's why I didn't see him.
My super would be the reverse turbo teen. If I hit your car with it, it transforms into a very confused teenager. and then starts panicking and flailing on the track randomly. It incapacitates you for 10 seconds or whatever as you're just flailing weakly as a human. Your evasion's really high, but if I can get you, I can kill you.
Yes. That sounds good.
How about you? Do you have an Arizona themed one, Haley?
No, I literally can't drive. I suck at driving, so that is actually my answer. Is that my power? What was it? Ability is that I just kind of crash into you, and my crash is a much higher. I'm taking damage when I crash into you hard.
Oh yeah.
Then it only is minor damage to me, so I am technically killing myself. Kind of like what is it? There's a character in Borderlands kind of like that with the axe.
Maybe you're just like the crash test dummies. Do you remember the crash test dummies?
I do.
For a while, some crazy the hardest working agent in Hollywood was just like, yo, I know what we can launch for the kids. You know what the kids are really gonna love? An animated series based on these vehicle safety commercials. Great. Incredible.
I have a public transportation buff where occasionally a bus comes in and hits you.
You can just summon a bus to throw at people.
Yeah.
Your entire moveset is based on just impact. You yourself are a kamikaze that hits people, and then you can just generate other vehicles to throw at people to hit them. So defeating you is mostly just invade. You have to zone. We have to zone you. We have to range you. We just have to stay at distance and pepper you with shots until you explode.
Mm-hmm. That's me.
Yeah. You're the Zangief of our game. You're the grapple character.
Speaking of Twisted Metal, there's that show on Peacock that I'm not watching, and I'm assuming nobody is watching. But TikTok is trying to advertise it, so it's another thing I've been getting a routine TikTok advertisement for. This TikTok advertisement is a cosplayer of the character Sweet Tooth, but it is a female crossplay of the character. Instead of having a spooky mask, it is just an attractive woman with face paint on, and she jumps out, and it's just and I'm just like, oh. I was just scrolling TikTok, minding my own business, and I'm confronted with this sexy clown. And
that'll happen. Hey. That's TikTok.
But the thing with TikTok is that, TikTok needs to realize that my friends and I established, and we lived it to the fullest. 2021 was the year of the sexy clown. The year of the sexy clown is over.
No, it's coming back.
I mean, look, God knows I love sexy clowns, but I don't need them shoved down my face. When I want that, I know where to get it.
The dark recesses of the internet where the sexy clowns exist is well known to L. It is well trod territory.
Yeah, I mean, for a while there, again in 2021, we were getting into some stuff that for a while there, Facebook was soliciting me for clown sexy groups, and I talked about it on the show. I was sufficiently intrigued and horrified by it. And again, it's one of those things that says a lot about you. I'm gonna grab my in pass and I'm gonna go use it in the sexy clown club.
Sexy clowns are part of my culture. There's a lot of sexy clowns and like, cholo art.
Is there?
Yeah, there is. There's like sexy cholas with lowriders, and they're like always in clown makeup. That's like kind of an aesthetic that's big at like swap meets and just in general. I really like it.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. First of all, I didn't know that those were your people. That's one of those things that you just never ask.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, tell me about your blood makeup.
Yeah.
And secondly, like, I'm not besmirching the sexy clown. Like,
no, it's good. I'll show you some good clowns.
There's that teacher in Malcolm in the Middle. And there's that scene of her dressed in clown makeup. And look, that was a formative experience when we were celebrating the year 2021, like doing stuff that makes it fun to look at lights, so to speak. So we were bringing in the new year. That popped up during that excursion, and we rang in the sexy clown.
You can get it on like those big fuzzy blankets, just like ladies lowrider sexy clown look. It's the thing. I'll definitely show you.
The problem is that I feel like there's a hard line in the sand between regular sexy clowns and juggalo. So I hope that there's I'm looking for
it's a hard difference.
I'm looking for a big aesthetic break. Because I don't fuck with juggalos. Those people, it's just like, imagine a sexy clown, but dirty also.
I'm pro juggalo. I like the juggalos. I'm down with the clown. All clowns are good clowns, mostly.
I mean, is it too much to ask? Like, why is so much of juggalo culture about like just being dirty and grimy and sticky all the time?
Because, man, Fago and come on, man.
I just want to be like a button-up, clean.
They're actually cool and pretty based.
Look, I've met a lot of juggalos who are just like generally nice people, but I never understood why in their recreation time they want to go get like another person's shit thrown on them while they are also throwing their own shit at Tila Tequila.
Some things are just kind of punk.
I guess, but like I never understood it when like my punk rock friends were doing crazy shit like that either. I was just like, dude, I like to go to a show and thrash around, but like. When it's like, what's up with the bodily fluids and just like crust punk? Never got that shit. Like, is being dirty your identity? What are you talking about? Take a shower, bud.
Oh, yeah, that's a good type. I like the crust punks.
Again, I like talking to those people, but I just don't get why their aesthetic has to be dirty. Can't you just be a regular punk? Be a regular punk.
No showers.
Man, like 5 minutes ago, I was about to make a joke about down-ass Lets, and then I didn't even have to do it. It just went there of its own volition.
Shout out punks.
Look, we've been podcasting about juggalos for like 10 years.
Yes. Yep.
If there was a podcast that we did before this one, which there isn't.
There isn't. Absolutely not. You cannot find it. It doesn't exist. So, yeah.
Wait, Mike, what's your buff? What's your passive? What's your
oh God. I would have to assume that like my two options would have to be some sort of like mind impacting insanity. I'd have to have like brainworms to drive people crazy, something to that effect. And
it would have to be like JFK's in the back seat, and like the first shot is.
I was gonna go to that same place.
You get a free kill with my free.
Your special is like you touch the earpiece and you give the signal to your man in the observatory, and he just takes the shot on one of your opponents.
Yeah.
And 1 in every 100 times when you use the power, he instead pops out of a sewer grate.
Yes. Yeah, that's the car I'm driving. I'm actually driving the limo, and I just have like a horrified JFK and Jackie in the back of it.
Yeah,
and
you get one free life because JFK takes the first hit.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
That's a good one. Yeah.
God, I am so here for all of that. Oh man. So thank you for the question. That took us down an incredible dark road. Much appreciation to Cleodora. Pancake Peasant asks, which sports fan base is the Trumpiest and which is the most Q-pilled? I would have to assume any Arizona team would be the most Q-pilled because Arizona is just... I'm sorry, your legislature speaks poorly of you. I
don't know anything about the Cardinals' political opinions, so I will not speak ill of our team because I don't know anything about sports.
I bet the
Yeah.
Boston Red Sox have a pretty Trumpy fan base. Like, aren't they
Oh,
historic?
yeah.
Aren't they just like known for being like one of the most racist team like fan bases in the league?
Boston has this really powerful aura and stigma about it being a racist town. It's like Boston's sports history is like super bizarre because the Boston Celtics and Red Auerbach were the most aggressively progressive team in the history of the world. Red Auerbach drafted the first black player into the NBA, breaking the color barrier. He did all this work. The Celtics were kicking everybody's ass and dominating so much that it was almost getting boring for Bill Russell, their best player, who happened to be black. And Red Auerbach was like, Bill, I want to keep kicking people's asses and winning, but you want to retire because you find kicking everybody's ass kind of boring because you do it so well. Is there anything I can do to keep you in the game? And Bill Russell was like, I would like to be player coach. And Red Auerbach was done immediately. So Bill Russell became the first black coach of any American major sport because Red Auerbach was like, fuck it, I need to keep this guy on the team. He can be player coach. It's great. And so you have this like ridiculously progressive Boston Celtics, and then you have the Boston Red Sox, who were incredibly racist. The Red Sox were the last team to integrate in Major League Baseball. So like when we celebrate Jackie Robinson Day and everyone wears the 42 and all that good stuff, it's like, yeah, Boston Red Sox, ooh, not a great look. Because, Tom Yawkey, the guy who owned the Red Sox, was a massive racist and piece of shit. And eventually, I think they did it where they took down Yawkey Way because it was just kind of like, having that guy still being like a part of like the Red Sox experience is not a great look. But so that's a thing that has definitely been around in Boston, is that like you see a lot of black athletes talk about, ooh, Boston, rough city. And it's earned. I mean, the Red Sox earned every crumb of that shit, so it sucks. Blake Griffin, who comes from mixed parents, he's like made a joke about how half of him would be rejected by Boston, or half of him wouldn't want to play there. Like stuff like that is out there. So it's weird because Boston is like a part of Massachusetts, and we're like super liberal, but at the same time really racist. So it's awful, but
tough tightrope to have to walk.
It absolutely is. It's weird, but
can I sell you on a little card that maybe might help you absolve some of that guilt?
No.
Do I get to say Nigeria? Oh man, I've always wanted to.
You can say whatever you'd like to athletes of whatever color you'd like for the low price of $49.95 or whatever. It's on sale. Yeah. Normally they're $300, but
thank God, what a bargain! The problem is that like not a lot of like current players in sports are that Q-pilled. I mean, we have Aaron Rodgers, who's anti-vax, but like the biggest nut I can think of that comes from a team sport is Curt Schilling, and he's retired. And he is the mutual shame for both me and Haley because he was an Arizona Diamondback and a Boston Red Sox. So we both have the
Shout out.
We both have the stain of Curt Schilling upon us. He broke the curse for us Red Sox, and he helped the Diamondbacks win their only World Series. So we both have glory attributed to this terrible monster and bag of shit. There was talk of trying to run Curt Schilling against Elizabeth Warren last election cycle, but it never would have worked out for him because he sucked. But so now Kurt's just busy posting dumb shit on social media and being pretty Q-pilled. Back when I was a nobody with no followers, Curt Schilling had me blocked. It was the weirdest fucking thing. Like I would get like 3 likes on a post, and I'd be like, "Boom, baby, I'm doing fucking numbers." And then I would like look up Curt Schilling on Twitter and be like, "You are blocked by Curt Schilling." Like even when I was getting like 3 likes, Curt Schilling was like, "Nope, fuck that guy. I ain't dealing with his shit."
So you got the Aaron Rupar follow?
Yes, I got the Aaron Rupar follow. I'm big time, baby.
Yep. You're going nothing but up.
Nothing but up. I'm going to Sizzler, baby. Boom. Yeah. Yeah, that made me laugh. That was because of Ben Collins. Ben Collins like retweeted my thing about how pilled the 2024 election's going to be, which it is. It's going to be aggressive.
Which it's going to be.
Yeah. So, actually, I mean, just demographically, I would guess the Oklahoma City Thunder are the most Trumpy fan base because Oklahoma's pretty red. So I would assume them. But as for Q, it's tough because the Q nuts are mostly in like individual sports like MMA and shit like that. That's like and boxing. I can't remember his name, but there's that. I don't know if he's a retired boxer now, but like there's the boxer guy who talks about adrenochrome all the time. He's basically a QAnon promoter at this point. There's a lot of guys that are in UFC or just left UFC who are like Tito Ortiz. He's pilled. Like a lot of these guys.
Oh yeah, he definitely.
I would say the most
is.
Q-pilled fan base would have to be Patriots fans, right? Because there was a time long ago when the Patriots were in control, and now there's probably still like a hardcore belief that Patriots will be in control at some point again in the future, but it seems really unlikely.
Yeah, Belichick is our Trump, where he's just luring the rest of the NFL into a false sense of security, and then he's going to strike at any moment. Spoiler alert: no, he's not. The Patriots are bad now.
Yeah, when he blows his draft picks on like defensive players, and everyone's just like, "Hold on, let him cook."
Yeah, it's exactly
okay.
That's oh god, yeah. Ever since Brady left, Bill's been cooking for a while now, and we haven't been eating very well. Been a lot of thin gruel here in New England. So yeah. So thank you for the question. XXX Squirrel asks, Oppenheimer has a part where Q clearance is given to Oppenheimer. Was there any talk of that in the Q-pilled circles? I really didn't see a lot because that's just such like foundational, boring parts of the...
Because the Q fan base was probably too busy hating Barbie instead of liking
They're
Oppenheimer.
still on their third rewatch of Sound of Freedom. They haven't gotten to Oppenheimer.
They're like, can you believe this Barbie movie? They're trying to tell me that being a man might not be the coolest and that maybe women are denigrated. I don't get it. 0 out of 10. I just want to take my daughter here to see a movie about the plastic toys that make them subservient to us.
I saw someone like pissing and moaning about how like in the movie Mattel's board is all men when in reality, and it's like, you know, Mattel made the movie. Mattel had signed off on the movie. If Mattel wanted to do an all-male board in order to try
How dare they make a joke about the board of the company that makes Barbie being all men? That's not funny. Why would they do that?
Exactly.
They should have had a woman on there, because to ruin the joke. You get
They
it?
should have just had the board in it, right? That's how it works. We're telling a documentary, right?
Yeah, yes, Barbie, the documentary.
Yeah, I love how anyone's just like, good for the Barbie movie for being like super critical of Mattel. It's just like, they're laughing all the way to the bank, baby.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but we'll talk about it when I eventually see it. Probably.
You know what, Haley? I'm getting sick of waiting. I want to spoil all of this movie for you.
Listen,
That's not true. I'm not getting sick of
I tried to go see it, and the power went out because they don't want you to see this movie.
Because the Patriots are in control.
The Patriots are in control.
Yes.
Patriots, patriarchy.
The Q clearance thing in Oppenheimer really didn't hit that hard for these people because
maybe they just don't know. Mike, use your Q sock puppet account and get in there and start rallying.
Yeah, start pilling them. Pilling them on Oppenheimer.
Yes, I'll start pilling them on Oppenheimer.
They'll just be like, guys, Sound of Freedom misses the point. This other movie totally, literally has Q clearance in it. I mean, obviously, it couldn't have been a more obvious nod. Christopher Nolan is one of us. You should go support Oppenheimer.
Yeah, yes.
See Florence Pugh's movies.
Yes. Oh, we're going to get based in Nolan pilled. It's going to be great. It's going to be absolutely incredible. So that brings us to our final question as always. What are you guys looking forward to?
I'm probably going to roll a new character in Baldur's Gate and start, because I'm like 3 hours in. So I'm going to play that. I'm going to select a new character with a new penis or labia. I haven't decided yet. And I'm gonna play a character that's a little better at cracking skulls and a little less focused on talkity talk. Because sometimes you can't talkity talk a skeleton. You know, if you encounter a skeleton, you got to crush their skull, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah,
some things will never change.
What are you looking forward to, Haley?
I don't know, man. It's like, what am I looking forward to? I guess eventually seeing Barbie. I don't know.
Your trip to Redacted.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm looking forward to Yeah, Barbie.
Halloween is coming.
Halloween. It's pumpkin spice season, everybody. Soon. I don't know.
I don't know if you're one of those Halloween people. I'm actually
I like
kind of one of those Halloween
Halloween.
people. I like fall. Halloween happens to be the kind of like the king of fall.
Again, raised Jehovah's Witness, so it's like that was the big no-no holiday, even though they're all technically no-no holidays. And so it was extra fun to be like, fuck you, I'm going to celebrate Halloween. You know what
I learned on this podcast? I don't know a fucking thing about you. I didn't know that you had Mexican heritage. I did not know that you were raised Jehovah's Witness. I don't know shit about you.
Well, we'll get to know each other as time goes on, right? You're mysterious.
That's true. Yeah, but I'm not that mysterious. I'm always talking about weird shit that I'm into and do. But yeah, that's just crazy because you're just like, you know, like obviously I was raised this. I was just like, that's not obvious to me. That's new information.
Well, Mike knows.
Mike knows.
Yeah.
Mike
Always tells me, I'm like, who's the Q influencer that was raised? J-Dub?
Yeah, Martin Geddes.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why he thinks he can never possibly fall into another cult because he was raised cult. So he's
For
like,
sure, bro.
yeah, he's like, I would see a cult a mile away. There's no way they could get me. And it's like, well, they did. I'm sorry. Spoiler, you got. I'm sorry.
Sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you excited about, Chief?
Yeah,
Super
Mike.
Chief.
I'm excited about the Q Shamans live stream with one of the Cranstons. He's going to do a Twitter space tomorrow night. And I quote tweeted them and I said, are you going to let people who actually know what QAnon is about talk in this space or not?
No.
Or is this just going to be a thing where you let the Q Shaman fucking spout his bullshit?
Yeah.
The second one. Oh, I know it's the second one. So I will be live tweeting the Q Shamans space. And
You're so real.
I'm just going to be talking shit about him the whole time. And
Mike is about this life.
Did you see this Joker video?
No, I did not see his Joker video.
He's doing all right. I'll send it to you.
Excellent.
Yeah, he's definitely reformed. You know?
Oh, 100%. Oh,
yeah.
God. Oh, yeah. I actually think I saw someone, like the judge in his case was like, if I knew he was going to pull this shit, I would have given him more time. So, it's just like...
Well, then, I hate to tell you this, Judge, but you're a stupid fuck.
I know, I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
You're the stupidest fuck on the planet of the earth. That guy had some crocodile vegan tears for you, and then went back to his bullshit immediately the way that everyone knew he would, except for you, apparently. Well done.
Also, they just, threw him in solitary confinement for a lot of it. He was, doing his, podcast, his Q podcast with his homie while in jail in, 15-minute intervals for a while. And then, the last bit, he was kind of, in solitary. And there's no, it's not like they were trying to,
reform
fix
him.
His brain. They're just fix yourself, bitch, Yeah. And then he comes out totally, to an environment that's like, you're a martyr. And also you were correct in all your conspiracies, sir. And he's brain broken as shit. So yeah, it's not really, I don't know, man. It's interesting times.
I just love the fact that he gets busted. He gets pinched after the riot, and all of QAnon disowns him immediately as a deep state shill and an infiltrator in MK Ultra. And they have the photo of him hanging out with Steinbart, and he's just the biggest fuck that ever fucked a fuck, and they fucking hate him. And now he gets out of jail and he's the hero again. There's the Q shaman, he's the greatest. It's like, no, you said he was deep state. And that would honestly, if they ever let me speak in that space, which they would never would, but I would just say, Jake, buddy, amigo, compadre, why are you still the Q shaman when the moment you got cuffed and stuffed, all of QAnon disowned you?
He's America's shaman.
Oh yeah, I know he's America's shaman now. But it's like, why do you support the fucking people that denigrated you and said that you were a deep state shill and that you were not part of the movement? They disowned you. They're like, Q shaman, I never heard of that guy. What the fuck are you talking about? This guy's obviously some deep state Antifa infiltrator. And just how can you be a part of a movement that's so transactional where the moment you cause any bad press for them, they just disown you. They just disown you immediately. And then 3 years later, hey, Q shaman, buddy, amigo, give me a hug.
Yeah, because Tucker helped revive him. They're like, oh, Tucker said he's good. I guess maybe.
Right. I need to queue up in the space behind you so that I can ask and I can just
maybe I'll listen in.
Yeah, just a follow-up question. How does it feel knowing that everybody knows that time you spent in prison was just a fucking smokescreen because you're a fucking deep state plant, you piece of shit. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, this is like having like an undercover agent doing some coke in front of you, man. It means nothing to me, brother. That was like bitch time. They let you do your stupid podcast. I know that you're still in on it. Fuck you.
That'd be so great. I'll just go at him. Just call him a Fed. I mean, you and Ray Epps, you were both behind January 6th, and I fucking know it. I'll be so great. I'll just crush him. Just absolutely crush him as the new Ray Epps. Be so good.
Well, we look forward to seeing if Mike Raines can manage to yell at America's Shaman, formerly
Get you in there.
Q Shaman. And also,
my odds of speaker privilege of 0.0%, 0.01 at
you're going to
best.
get there. You'll get there.
Yes.
Just like, what is it? Like, subscribe to the Krasenstein shit. Like, what is it? The super follow or some whatever. Maybe he'll let you speak.
I'm not giving him a
It's
fucking
like a
penny.
paid shill. You may speak.
Yeah, fuck those grifters. I'm just going to be in that room, like, with my avatar just there looming, just like my poker hand just glaring at them, like, angrily, sternly, just be like, you know what you're fucking doing. You fucking know, you fucking pieces of shit. Yeah,
All the best people on Twitter now.
Absolutely.
There is no Twitter. There's only X.
Yeah.
Yeah, boo.
I changed it. Everybody is loving.
Yes.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for our show for the week. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the show. You can continue to support the show for free, even harder, by giving us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast from. If you have money and you'd like to give it to the show, you can donate it to us at patreon.com/pokerpolitics, where a donation of 40 plus. Let me take that one again. You know what? I'm glad that we're editing all of this. Note, I don't think that Mike is. Where a donation of $5 or more gets you access to 40 plus hours of bonus content, including our various series breaking down Q Media and any other crazy thing that we might cook up to record in the future. Even on this very podcast, Haley was talking to Mike about watching Joe Rogan's stand-up routines from back in the day and reacting to that. And I expect you to hold her to that. For them, just the two of them. I'm busy and don't want to watch Joe Rogan, so don't try to hold me to it. I'll join if I can. Anyway, thank you so much to all of our beautiful babies who are tipping their jailers. If you have money and you want to do good with it, instead of giving it to dicks like us, you can do so. An example of which is going to love146.org. They're an organization whose vision is the end of child trafficking and exploitation. And you know, as a listener of this podcast, we know you love Sound of Freedom so damn much. Give Love 146 some of your money, eh?
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks as always to DJ Minimal Effort for use of our intro song. Way ahead of curve on getting out of the social media game by never starting. DJ Minimal Effort, what an absolute unit. Not so lucky is our buddy Frosty, who for the time being can still be found on X at FrostyVO. Frosty is, of course, our voiceover friend who does all of the bumps and all of our voice of Q stuff when we need it, etc. The show can still be found on X at HellwQrld with a Q instead of an O. Sarge is dead to us. My X account is effectively dead to us. Haley is AZ_RWW on X, I believe. Did I get that right?
Yeah, and I'm barely on there. Find me on like Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky, Substack, all that shit.
Smoke signals in the wilderness.
Throwing that hat up. Boop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Throw the bat signal up for the boys.
Yeah.
And Mike Raines, of course, at Poker Politics on X. So find all of his scintillating fighting with the Q Shaman and other stuff there. So for another successful episode of the Adventures in HellwQrld podcast, I've been one of your hosts, the mysterious Al, joined once again, and from now forward, other vacations notwithstanding, by Arizona Right Wing Watch, aka Haley, and our expert in all things QAnon crazy, Mr. Mike Raines. Good speed, Patriots!